What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 10K on the Bay, my journey to 10,000 live listings. Today we have some big news. eBay is now going to move away from PayPal after 15 years of having.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of 10K on the Bay, my journey.
Sorry. After 15 years of PayPal being the premier processor, they're now moving away from that. So it's a pretty big news, but I'm also joined by Prince, Wired by Biz. Why don't you introduce yourself and how you feeling about this big news?
Yeah, so my name is Prince Patel. I've been on eBay for nearly a decade now, and I think this is one of the biggest updates and announcements that eBay has given. So we wanted to make a quick video about this. So let's get right into it.
Yeah, also, we hope you guys bought some eBay stock today because it went up a lot, and you shorted PayPal stock because it went down a lot. PayPal, I think, dropped at least 10%, eBay up at least 15%, depending on when you bought it. But eBay makes up 13% of PayPal's revenue, so it's a big hit for them. We're just going to go over an outline of the article released by eBay this morning. Do you want to go over it together, or how do you want to break it up, the article?
You could talk about it, and then I'll jump in.
Okay, cool. So basically what this means for buyers and sellers is that the fees, instead of doing two separate transactions, one on eBay and one on PayPal, eBay is going to handle the transaction within itself using a third party. Adyen, we might be butchering the name, Adyen is the company that they're going to move towards. It's a $2 billion company versus PayPal is $10 billion, but they're more globally based. And that's surprising because I feel like PayPal is also globally based, but we don't know the reason why they're switching. But we do know that it'll allow eBay to process its payments within the system. So that's a huge improvement for sellers because we can now see the fees right in there.
Right, I think it's a huge deal. I mean, they are maybe like 90% smaller than PayPal. They do about 2 billion in revenue. PayPal probably does over 100 billion. But I think the main reason is because they want to, add all these features for their sellers on their marketplace and improve their own marketplace. And PayPal is too expensive for them to do it with. So I think Adyen is just one of those things they wanted to use, so it's cheaper for them. So it's cheaper for sellers and buyers ultimately.
And Prince and I were at eBay just a couple of weeks ago talking about how awesome it would be if there was actually fee netting. And what that means is, for example, on a $100 transaction, I would like to just receive $91 rather than getting a bill for $9 30 days later, and also getting the bill whether or not the person actually pays, because since eBay is not handling the payment, they don't know if the other company received the money or not. And so they're actually getting they just bill you anyway, and you figure it out later. It's very confusing. Whereas like on Amazon and Poshmark, as an example, Poshmark is 20% fee. If you do $100 in revenue, they just give you $80 directly into your bank account. There is no third party transactions. Much easier. All you have to do as a seller is subtract your cost of goods and your operating expenses, and your taxes are basically done, instead of dealing with two separate platforms, which is very confusing.
Right. And when we were sitting there, we were talking to eBay employees over lunch, right? And we are telling them about this. I was telling them a story about when I started initially, when I was like 14, 15, whatever years old. I sold something and then I thought I got the money for it. And then a month later, they charged me again for something. I was like, wow, this sucks. I don't want to use eBay anymore because I didn't know what was going on. It was so confusing, especially if you're a new seller. What if you're new to e-commerce at selling in general? Like that's kind of weird, you know? It's like it comes off as sketchy, or like it deters you from selling on the platform. So
and they also told us that in the beginning, Pierre, the founder, wanted sellers to have the money to reinvest, or to try to just keep the cash flow going. Like you sell something on eBay for $100, you get $100. Now you can go buy more stuff. As long as you are careful at the end of the month, when you have to pay that $9 for that fee, you'll be ready. The thing is, it's confusing for new sellers because I've heard this on Instagram. Oh, I hate eBay. They charge me so much for fees. I'm never selling again. And it's like, no, you wouldn't have made those sales if they didn't find those buyers for you. It just is not really a straightforward way of doing it.
Chris, you know why I think that happened is I think because eBay started as a platform for hobbyists. So people who want to sell stuff around their house, and then it turned into people doing business on eBay. So Amazon, right off the bat, they started off for sellers to be a business on Amazon, which is why they're at where they are now, and eBay still where at there now. I mean, they're big, don't get me wrong, but they have a long way to go to catch up and even maybe even take over one day. So this is a big step in the right direction, I think.
Definitely. And it's not, and we want to clarify, they're not removing PayPal. It'll still be an option until 2023. So people can still use PayPal to pay. And you can still use your credit card, of course. But basically, and I really wonder if this new processor will allow people to store their credit card information in it, because that would be even easier. One step checkout on PayPal, on eBay would be great, because it is, I think, it feels like 3 or 4 more clicks to buy something on eBay than Amazon. Amazon, they're ready to take your money. Everything is stored.
Right. And guys, this is like a few years transition between PayPal to Adyen. You know, that whole movement is going to take a while just for people to understand that this is like going away, or this is going to be a secondary option, because Adyen is supposed to be a primary option in the future. So, you know, it's like it's going to take a while. PayPal did 13, no, eBay did 13% revenue for PayPal.
That's right.
That's insane.
That is huge. It's a massive amount of revenue. Scott's asking a good question in the chat. How will this affect PayPal working capital? Well, that's a great question. But Amazon has its own capital program too. They give money directly to sellers. So Amazon has their own financing in-house, and obviously they can see 100% of your data and what you're selling, and they can predict what's going to happen in your business probably better than you by looking at your trajectory. So I imagine eBay will offer lending as well, because that's a massive revenue stream for, lending is huge because there's no actual product.
Right. Yeah. Like people are saying right now in the chat, they're wondering what's going to happen with PayPal working capital. I think they're going to develop the story, you know, as it goes on. There's a couple of years in between now and what's going to actually happen. But yeah, I think they're going to try to do everything on eBay itself, just like Amazon does it.
And it makes it so easy. And if you guys know, like, Prince and I work on different streams of income, and it's just when you see the fees right there taken out and the net amount, it's just so much easier. And you don't need 2 different separate systems. I don't know. I'm super excited about having everything in one place.
Just to add on that, I think it's more easier for newer sellers. Like for us, we're a little bit more acclimated to how it works and we understand it pretty well. But if you're a new seller, it's just like, dang, you know, I don't know how this works. I don't know what's going on, because the fee structure is so different for every category and everything. You just have no idea what's going on. So this is a major change.
Tech and Sports is in the chat. What's up? He's saying Amazon's one-click patent expired last September. So I didn't actually realize they owned that concept of one-click buying, because that is unbelievable to just click and it stores all your address and multiple credit cards. And I think Amazon also knows that multiple people share Prime accounts, and you can store different people's credit cards in that thing. And it's just, they know people are trying to do that. And if that patent actually expired, which is probably the case, then everyone's going to be jumping into the one-click payment, because who doesn't want people to buy as soon as they see it?
Right.
They also tried the guaranteed shipping program, which they're going to try to make available for everybody soon. If you don't get it yet, be patient. But that is not quite as advanced as Prime shipping, but it's better than before.
Yeah, I do feel like they're going to start rolling out more updates and features as they see what's going on in the e-commerce field. Because I mean, everything we talked about at that lunch with those eBay employees, it's starting to come true. It's starting to come to fruition now, just because it makes sense. You know, it just makes sense. So eBay's a giant company. They just have to start making giant moves now.
And we're excited too, because when we were at lunch, Brian Burke, who's the leader of eBay community, was saying that fee netting is, people have asked for it, but it's difficult to make that big of a change, because obviously eBay is huge, and we didn't realize how big it was really till we saw how many layers of people work there. It's gigantic. 800 million listings, right? That's not like a small thing to turn the boat. But it's just, I think eBay is definitely making a shift from being more a hobby seller to a business, and that's just so massive. One thing that they had mentioned, that specific customer benefits are lower costs. So I really wonder what they mean by lower costs. Is that because they earn the income from the processing fee, so they're able to pass that on? And I'll give you guys an example. Poshmark is 20%, but that includes the processing fee, right? So it's their selling fee, processing fee, all in one at 20%. On let's say Patreon, Prince and I are both on Patreon. They charge 5%, and the processing fee is around 3.1%. So if you guys remember, And it's slowly gone down since they started. When I first started on Patreon, it was like 4.5%, 5%, and they're trying to lower it so that it's actually a flat 5%, so patrons can make larger and larger things. But for eBay, if they're able to absorb that cost, I wonder, because PayPal is 2.9 plus 30 cents, right? That's that round, depending on what type of items you sell, that's like between 3 and 4%. So I don't know how it can be cheaper than 13 to 14%, because I would say that's like market. That's not necessarily expensive in my opinion.
Right. Agreed. So the key things they also want to have it so that your funds are more predictable when you're going to get them, because PayPal right now, if you're a new seller or you've gone through rough patches on eBay, you might get your funds in a week or 2 or 3 weeks. Because I went through that period when I was a lower standard on eBay, and I think they're trying to make it so that you know exactly when you're going to get your funds, and that you're able to use it as you need it. So that's very important as well.
So Teresa's in the chat. She's saying that, I mean, it's not going to say Aiden as the processor. It's just going to say enter your credit card information. But I'm hoping it just stores everyone's credit card. Like, it knows who you are based on your username. And I hope they have the button that says turn one-touch ordering on, right? And I'm hoping, when I talked to Brian yesterday, I had asked, can we do some type of flat shipping? Because on Poshmark, for example, anything under 5 pounds is $6.95. Everything over 5 pounds is calculated, and that makes it very simple as a seller, because you're like, okay, everything's priority, so people know they're going to get it between 2 and 4 days, or 1 and 4 days if you're in the same state. And it's just simple, and it encourages buyers to buy 2 or 3 more things, because it's combined shipping for $6.95, which is a good deal. And I'm going to pull it up, but I know eBay has a relationship with Pitney Bowes, which is the shipping company. And it makes me wonder if they're going to be able to negotiate a better deal, or if there's some kind of 3-way contract with PayPal. Hopefully that expires too, because I don't want to, if they're going to have a third party, I don't want to see it. Like the relationship with Adyen, we're not going to see that relationship. It's just going to be built in. And that's going to make it easier for me to understand, because think about how easy it would be if eBay bills you for the shipping inside of that transaction. Then all you have to do, and if they can add in cost of goods sold, that means they can essentially issue you a P&L each month, and that's huge.
Right.
So 10Inch is asking, are we going to be paying the same fees or less? They say less on the news release, which I'll put a link in the description below so you guys can read it. I know it sounds bad, but I don't think it's expensive to begin with. It seems reasonable where it is right now. They could lower it a little bit, but
yeah, I mean, guys, the thing is, like, as inflation is going to occur no matter what, right? So your shipping prices are always going to increase and everything. So by that time everything rolls out, what is actually going to be decreased? Because depending on what kind of seller you are on eBay, if your average sale price is going to be the same from now and 5 years from now, then it's not going to make much of it. You're probably going to still lose money. So
that's true.
You got to think about that.
It says here, as eBay gets closer to the initial phase of the intermediation efforts, it will share more details. So yeah, again, this is not going to be an overnight change. It's going to take a couple of years. The contract ends this year, but it's not going to fully take effect until 2020. It's just exciting because when they released promoted listings this year, as a seller, I feel like, okay, you're just increasing my fees and not really giving me an opportunity. Like, yes, I can compete with the people that have greater exposure, great, but it's like, it's not really a way for me to, I don't know, I felt like it was 100% fee based sometimes. I got the feeling that kind of like that.
Yeah, I personally don't feel like the value of promoted listing is there for you as a seller. It's, like you said, it's just more for eBay to make a little bit more extra money.
It does help us rank higher. That's true. I do, because you see it when you scroll through. And then also, I'm not 100% sure that it's a better experience for the buyer either. Because like, you're shopping for an Adidas pair of shoes, and then somebody else's listing pops up because they paid for that premium placement. I see that on Amazon. It's like I'm searching for something, and something else I don't want pops up because they paid for it.
That's a good point, because every time raise your hand. I know I can't see any of you guys, but if you go on Amazon and if you search up something, you see the paid promotions on top. I usually skip those. I'm like, I'm out. I don't want to be here. I want to see the ones that are actually ranking high on their own through the reviews and everything. So I don't even understand how sponsored is that much valuable, you know.
Right. And it costs more.
It costs a lot more.
Yeah, it costs a lot more. It can cost up to 20% in fees more. So actually, is it 20? No, it can be ridiculously a lot more, but it's
it varies depending on the item.
It varies. It's and what do you still use promoted listings? I do.
I use it very leisurely. So I use it and I turn it off as my listing gets better and better in the search system.
I'm at a flat 1% because I feel like I should be participating in the program, but I don't know if I need it.
Okay.
Let's see. eBay's payment initiative is expected to deliver value to customers through its improved shopping experience. Now, here's the thing. People are used to using PayPal or a credit card already, and they have guest checkout. You do not need a PayPal account to buy something on eBay already. So to me, the way to improve the shopping experience is to reduce how long it takes to buy something. Logging into PayPal is annoying, right? If you could just store it, that would improve the experience. If it's just like a regular credit card processor where I have to re-enter my information, that's actually a worse customer experience than PayPal, because at least PayPal stores it. So I'm hoping I don't have to re-enter it at all.
Right. And the other thing is that eBay hopes that by offering the service that you're going to get more buyers onto the platform, into the marketplace, which should obviously get you more sales. So we can only hope and pray that actually happens, because like you said, you don't need PayPal to be on eBay, but Adyen is supposed to get more buyers into the platform. So,
and I wonder, this global interest is interesting because eBay has more buyers outside of the US than in the US, but the way to like really hyper drive that would be have some kind of shipping discount that would make it available. For example, there are Chinese sellers that can sell stuff to the States and ship for less than we can in the States to the States, right? So if we were able to ship worldwide for the same price or less than domestically, now you're talking about a massive, ridiculous exposure to the whole world, right? And that would be allowing people to compete on a global scale, which is insane, right? And we just actually experienced the opposite effect, where postal rates just became more expensive, reducing our ability to sell potentially cheaper items. If you were one of those sellers that sells hundreds of $3 profit items and they just took 50 cents away from you, that's challenging. So I can see that being something. The next step is some type of shipping agreement.
Right. So Elaine J in the chat said, is eBay going to prepare 1099K forms instead of PayPal? That logically, yes, they should.
They should.
We don't know all the details yet. So,
and I'll say that Poshmark does not, right? They do all their processing inside. But in my opinion, Poshmark is still in the phase of being a hobby seller, right? They're designed to help you sell what's in your closet, not build a business, right? And there's no data, there's no analytics. And there's like rumors saying that Poshmark will overtake eBay in used clothing. I don't think so, because we're looking at 100 million versus 8 billion. Like, it's 100 times smaller still. So maybe if eBay doesn't make changes, but looks like they're making some moves. So hopefully, Prince and I joked, like, if Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk took over as CEO, would they be more aggressive about making changes? Because as a seller, I understand things are going to break. When you're trying to take over the world and stuff doesn't work, I'm not going to complain. I'm like, thank you for trying to make the site better for me. I'm going to be patient as they try and do that. That's why I think it's odd when I hear Amazon sellers complaining. I'm like, usually they're trying to make the platform better for buyers and you. And it's just, when you're that big, things are going to break.
Right. See what else we have on this topic.
So Trump is trying to get rid of these unfair practices where other countries have advantages over us in the States. That I would agree, he's probably trying to do that, but I don't see him making it easier for us to do business. I don't think it's necessarily related to the president. I just think right now it's getting more expensive to ship. If
he eliminated that shipping option that's cheap for people in China or internationally ship here, then that would increase our sales.
Absolutely.
So interesting.
And it would make more competitive. So if that does happen, there's no longer the 99 cents free shipping from China, which doesn't even make sense. because somehow that's either I I feel like they're paying the cost of a stamp, because it doesn't seem like they're paying more than that, because unless they're getting credited from the Chinese government, which doesn't make sense.
I don't know what's going on, but I've bought so many dollar items from China. I don't know how it works.
I know, we always recommend that when trying to build your feedback up. If you just started and you don't know how to do it, you buy 10 things from China for $1 shipped and get 10 feedback.
Right.
What's up, Mary's in the chat? Feel good finds. Joel Hart says it's an agency in the UN and the Chinese that subsidizes the rates. Okay, thanks, Joel, for clarifying that. So if Trump's really in there to try to disrupt that, that would be very interesting if it becomes harder for other countries to do business with us. I wonder if we can create an agency that makes it the same cost for us to ship worldwide, because first class international is relatively competitive. Like, I can ship a shirt to the UK for $12 or sometimes less. So I can ship a first class item to Canada for $8, which is sometimes cheaper than Canadians can ship to Canada. Right? So we have that advantage in some countries.
Right. So Stacy Denny in the chat was saying how eBay is expensive in comparison to other platforms, but you also got to take a look at the fact that they're driving all this traffic to you. You're not doing anything. You're just paying the fees for the traffic to come to you. So you really need to take that into account. We take it for granted of how many people are actually on the platform and looking at our stuff. That's very expensive to do by yourself.
Right. And they are, I believe, they're in the top 5 for ad spend, period, on Google. Like, Amazon and eBay are in the top 5 to spend the most money to get people to eyeballs. Like, if you Google your own item and it pops up, somebody paid that to get your listing there. So I can't believe how many items that I sell show up in the Google search. That's just like insane to me that they can basically partner with Google to do this. So it's all one big happy family. Pixie Girl is saying he can't change an old treaty for overseas shipping from China. Maybe not, but he's definitely pretty vocal about it. He's saying that, why is it unfair? Why is our post office losing money when Amazon is making so much money? And that's an interesting comment too, because Amazon, when I see these trucks driving around, they're not UPS, FedEx, or the post office. It's on track or some unmarked vehicle.
Yeah.
So it's a different. They're using their own system.
Very interesting. Amazon just built a massive warehouse where I live, and it's just completely congesting us over here. It's crazy.
No,
they're huge.
And I still think that right now, if you're looking at it as an investor, they haven't bought a gigantic retail chain like an actual retailer yet, like Kohl's or Target or Nordstrom. But I bet that they will. And it's one of those situations where their stock's going to go up so much from that acquisition that it's going to pay for the acquisition, just like Whole Foods. They basically broke even on Whole Foods the day after they bought it. So it's very scary. Jeff Bezos is really hungry and aggressive. So we always wondered, we talked about it. What happened if eBay suddenly became that hungry? What would happen? I don't know.
It's very interesting.
Stacy is making an interesting point. I just think eBay has a lot of traffic. They're not Amazon, but they do have a lot. And I personally do not think 13-14% is expensive versus running my own website, etc. And I get that Mercari and Poshmark have cheaper fees or etc. But they need to stay competitive. They can't just compete with eBay with the same type of fees. Got to do something. If I was those companies and trying to gain new customers, I might even say no fees for a year or something, or 1% fees to try to acquire new customers. But again, that means that they're borrowing money from VCs or whatever to pay for that, because it costs money to operate. eBay is extremely profitable right now, but I think it's because they've been doing really good at what they are good at instead of necessarily expanding, because Amazon's spending every single penny back in growth.
Right.
eBay doesn't even crack top 10 in ad space. That's it. So I need to look that up to find out exactly. Oh, I didn't realize that Apple pays for the most ad space. Wow, if that's true.
I haven't even seen that many Apple ads, to be honest.
I don't see a lot of the ads, but if they do pay the most, they can afford it.
Of course.
There's a point where antitrust laws will kick in. Maybe. What do you think? Amazon's kind of scary.
What
Like,
do you mean by what does it mean by antitrust laws?
it means like monopoly. If they start buying up all these industries and then they do the shipping.
I thought that was already happening. I thought the government was already limiting them to what they can do. But by the looks of it, I don't see it happening. I mean, they're acquiring everything. So
I know. No, I do think the government will step in, especially if, like for example, this year when they're getting into the automotive industry and they were saying, okay, we're just going to crush O'Reilly and all these local shops, Pep Boys, by just offering free 1 hour shipping.
yeah,
So like that's not profitable. That's predatory. Just saying we're going to deliver anything that you want for your car in an hour is not profitable. There's no way that makes sense.
yeah, it's insane. Skynet, good point. I like that comparison.
That is scary. No, but I mean, it's these drone hives. Have you guys seen the hives of the drones that deliver packages via that is scary. Arrested Raccoon says he's on a mobile device and he's not on desktop. What do you look it up? So I'm gonna actually look that up right now. But let's see. The way that sellers engage. Okay, so it does say eBay will start payments intermediation on the platform in North America in the second half of 2018. That's now. It basically means they're already in the works.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. Top Google ad spend. Interesting.
What are the numbers?
Wow, a lot of car companies, business, home, travel. Let's see here. So Amazon spent 55 billion on ad spend. I'm sorry, 55 million. 55 million on ad spend. eBay spent 42 million. And they're the top two in retailers and general merchandise, which is important to realize because that is really that's the industry that we're in, retail, general merchandise, physical products. And third is Macy's at 35 million, Sears at 34 million, and JCPenney at 30 million.
Macy's.
Macy's number 3.
Jeez.
Well, actually, this is 2011. Let me see.
Yeah, that's really old. A lot has changed since then.
Let's see.
Yeah, I thought Macy's was already like dead. What are they?
Google's did 73 billion in ad revenue last year. Google is just gigantic. Wow. And Alphabet, so Google's ad revenue is expected to grow 32% this year, which is also insane, which means you guys need to start a YouTube channel because advertisers want those eyeballs. Why can't I find this? It's hard to find.
Should be public info.
Top Google ad spend. Digital ad spend is growing. Grew 23% last year. Google and Facebook have taken over the digital ad industry. I would agree with that. Facebook ads are insane also. I can't believe Facebook did 33 billion. That's insane. That Google did 73 billion and Facebook did 33 billion. That's like almost half. Facebook did almost half. I didn't even consider Facebook is not even a search engine really.
Right.
I guess people are that's where everybody is on Facebook. So like people are spending a lot of money to get those eyeballs.
Right.
It was also the first year that digital spend was more than TV spend.
Hey Chris.
Yeah.
Bezos made 20 billion in January. For himself.
Is that just stock?
He's 120 billion net worth right now.
It's ridiculous. Rusted Raccoon, I need help looking it up. I can't find it. If the government doesn't suit the government plans, they will be restricted. Facebook is the future. Facebook is up $7 a share at noon. Wow. Well, we need to get on it. We just need to get on the Facebook. Everybody is there. That's where everyone hangs out.
Yeah. I think the next biggest thing for e-commerce in the US is going to be how they take over internationally. Amazon is having difficulty replicating their US success over there as well. So if eBay can get in there as well, which looks like what they're trying to do, that's going to be really interesting. A lot of potential here for eBay. A lot of potential.
Over time, eBay expects to have a team of several hundred business, product, and risk specialists driving its payment capabilities. So this is good too. This is important. They're building a team, so they need a whole team to process the stuff in house. And when we were having lunch with eBay, they said that they are really focused on being the liaison between buyer and seller, right? But now if they move to more of a partnership role with its sellers, like Amazon, where they're like you are, that's sort of a different type of role. If they do that, it's gonna be different.
Agreed. And you guys have to understand, eBay's been around longer than Amazon has. So they have a lot of history behind them.
Absolutely.
They just need the right people, the right leadership, and this could take off.
I wish it in 2013, Amazon was the largest spender, but I'm trying to find something more recent. It's not easy to find.
Dude, I've been waiting for news like this for so many years. I mean, especially now that I'm full-time on eBay and a lot of people are becoming full-time on eBay, this is a huge deal.
Wow, Priceline spent $3.6 billion on PPC. Yeah, so nobody knows. Like on Quora and all these forums, no one is dropping the exact amount that people are spending. But in retail, it has to be eBay and Amazon on top. I would be very surprised if they're not 1 and 2. I don't know.
What about the other platforms that are supposedly up and coming? They have like Jet.com.
Jet.com. There's Wish.
I just don't think they have nearly enough publicity as either of those two, Amazon or eBay.
I wonder if there are any international platforms that international platforms that will hit it, like Alibaba or Rakuten. I wonder if they will like jump into the US market and become a better place to shop. I don't know.
Right.
Let's see. Do you have any tips for selling old cameras? Not on this conversation. Yeah, go ahead. You can answer that question if you like.
Really quick. Old cameras, you have to really maybe bundle stuff, the accessories that come with those cameras. That's my best tip.
Makes sense. Do you guys share your listings on Facebook? I should, because my background before I did eBay was Facebook marketing. I still own a Facebook marketing company. So like I should be, but I don't have replenishables. If I should be helping Prince maybe write some ads for that, but it's like there's already so much traffic in his niche. So I don't know.
Right. Yeah. I don't share mine because obviously the replenishable products. Same thing with the new store that I made. I was going to make it a one-off store, but I'm thinking now I'm going to make it a drop shipping store. But then again, the same problem I have, I can't share that with everyone, which is something I want to do. But my situation right now is like I can't store a lot of inventory. So, having one store here already is kind of like taking up one entire room and all that stuff. So I have to do drop shipping.
I'm going to look up this article from Rusted Raccoon. Let's see. But yeah, for example, my Husky store, I'm going to do some drop shipping so you guys can look at it. It's not going to be profitable because everyone will be able to copy it, but I want to show you guys that drop shipping is still viable, but you can't not pay attention. Like this is the story that I hear. I was drop shipping, it was working, and then I sort of didn't pay attention to it, and then I had a bunch of defects and I lost my account. You can't not pay attention to it.
Yeah, that's the issue. And beware, guys, if you guys make second or third or fourth accounts, all of those tie into your main account. So if something goes wrong with one account, you're gonna get hurt on all your accounts. So make sure you keep that in mind. I know a lot of people who get on eBay, they have one primary account and they try to mess around on a secondary account. Don't do that. They could easily connect those two.
Hey, Rusty Raccoon, thank you. I pulled up the article. So number one is Apple. So Apple spent over 100 million last year, but I think it's because they needed to make the iPhone 10 work because I didn't really see any ads before. They were just doing so well without that, and the iPhone 10 is so different. So it looks like they.
That's a good point.
I don't feel like Apple hasn't traditionally been the biggest spender, have they? I feel like they're not. They were last year.
As far as I recall, they didn't spend that much on ads. I always saw Samsung ads. I always saw every other Android ads. I never saw Apple ads.
Number two is Procter and Gamble. Number three is Geico. Then Samsung, and you're right. I saw a lot more Samsung ads. So it's the phone battle. Amazon is number five. So they spent 70 million in 2017 versus 153 million in 2013. So their spend is less than half than a few years ago. Maybe because they're already a juggernaut at this point. Toyota was number six. Hulu number seven. Wow, Hulu spent some money. Microsoft number 8, TurboTax number 9, Verizon number 10. So eBay is not in the top 10.
Where is this data from? 2017?
Yeah, this is from Pathmatics for last year. I'll put the link in the chat.
Okay, sweet.
If you guys want to check it out, I'll throw it in the chat. Is Apple in trouble? I don't feel like Apple's in trouble. Are they?
I don't think so. Same thing with like Walmart, Costco, all those people. They're all fine. no, none of them are hurting.
I do feel like a lot of people are still on an iPhone 6 Plus because it's not a huge difference between that and the 8. It's even the same shell.
I think that's why they had to spend a lot in ads.
I believe so.
Facial recognition was the main thing, right?
Right. And we already have such little privacy. I don't know. Using my face to unlock everything and watching.
We have no privacy. The amount of data these guys are collecting is scary. I saw a video, like a small mini documentary of PayPal employees, and they're talking about how much data they have of everyone. I can't even say this stuff on YouTube right now. You're gonna get demonetized, but they have a lot of data about you. Every time you buy something, they have data about you. Every time you sell something, they have data about you. I mean, it's insane. They have departments that monitor the stuff for every website, which is insane. Like all these Amazon, eBay, PayPal. It's crazy.
Let's see. Walmart could be hurting in about 5 years. Toyota spent a lot because of lawsuits, and same with Samsung. That makes sense. When you're a big company and something happens like Samsung and your phone's light on fire, you need to spend a lot of money to make sure people realize that you're okay.
That's true.
That is crazy.
But 5 years is also a long time. I mean, especially now where things go like that in 5 years. I mean, look at Amazon, 5 years. Nothing compares to Amazon in 5 years.
I really want Walmart to be able to compete with Amazon. That would make me super excited. I would love to drop off stuff at Walmart instead of sending it in FBA. That would be really cool because then you could get that instant drive it to that Walmart. It's available the next day. I don't know if that's a thing, but I just think it would be, the closest thing to improving FBA would just be like a check-in center. It's already really easy, but like being able to just drive it to the warehouse since they're everywhere already. I don't know if Amazon's is gonna release that.
Who knows?
What is a newspaper? No, I mean, newspaper is dying. I can see newspaper and TV declining. And also the rise of the influencer is pretty crazy. When Prince and I release a video on Instagram or YouTube, hundreds or thousands of people watch it. Hundreds or thousands, not hundreds of thousands. Will watch it, and then we look to influencers for news, information beyond the company itself. Right. So obviously this eBay Inc. business release went out to millions of people also, but it is interesting.
Good point.
You heard Alibaba was going to sell straight to Amazon. That would make sense. I mean, when we were looking at King of E-commerce, Joe Wang, on Instagram, and he's been to some of the schools that teach how to do Amazon in China, and they're very advanced. Like they're studying exactly how things work. So it's pretty scary. When the manufacturer can send stuff directly to Amazon, how do you really compete?
Right.
All right. Thanks, Rusty Raccoon, for sending us the information. That is a really cool tool, Pathmatics, to be able to look at who's spending money. It really is a really good tell for what's going on in the economy to see where the dollars are going.
Yeah, that kind of gives you a better idea of where you should be, taking your career to.
If you want to go to the path of where the puck is going, you can see people are just competing for eyeballs. Verizon, Apple, Samsung, those three companies is the same thing. The only company that is crazy is Geico. I see Geico commercials all the time, but I didn't expect them to be in the top 10, let alone number 3.
Yeah.
And Procter & Gamble, I feel like, do they make cigarettes? Why are they in the top 2?
I have no idea why they are.
Let's see. CPG giant, so this is consumer goods. 3,500 digital creatives were placed across devices using a split strategy. The bulk of the budget was spent on direct deals. Walmart was a top destination for desktop and mobile creatives, while YouTube was a top site. Okay, so that is interesting that they're spending a lot of their money on YouTube influencers. So
they're just trying to realize it's not really about YouTube. It's just wherever the eyes are. Data, you can't knock down science and data. The data's there. It's very clear and evident. There are a lot of YouTubers now who are getting twice or 10 times as much more views than MTV Cribs or Kim Kardashians or anyone on TV ever has, because it's just so much more accessible, and just like people don't realize it yet, but it's going to be insane.
I agree, and I think that the accessibility part is just so unbelievable. Like, I'm hanging out with my girlfriend. If her favorite Instagrammer pops up or goes live, we'll take a break and watch them because it's interesting. And this is also crazy. She'll message them and they'll respond back. That doesn't happen on TV or in newspaper. You have zero access to the celebrities.
Right.
This is like your norm. You can be homies with your people that you follow on Instagram and social, and even people who have 1 million following will still respond back to the people who followed them when they were at 1,000 subscribers.
Yep. 100%.
Oh, it's pronounced Adyen.
Yeah.
Thank you, Connie. Let's see. Let me look at the article again, see if we missed anything.
I think we covered most of it as far as what we know.
It doesn't say how long the contract is for. I didn't know the contract for PayPal was expiring this year.
Right.
I didn't realize that. And also, you guys realized 2 years ago, eBay and PayPal became separate companies. So they were the same company at one point and still processed it separately. Back in the day, they could have done this internally, especially when PayPal was smaller.
Right.
Yeah, Pixie Girl. Yeah, I know P&G, they own everything. They own all, consumer products. But I guess, right now it's smart because with a platform like eBay or like YouTube or Facebook, for example, if Prince wanted to start a soap company, he could start a soap company because of Instagram. He could use it. He could pay people to use it, and they could all of a sudden get shelf space. So if I was Procter & Gamble, I would be scared. It's insane that I could create a toothpaste, not with my teeth, but Prince could with his beautiful smile. And we could crush it.
It's happening everywhere. I mean, we're seeing it in the very, very, very early stages, but it's gonna blow up. I mean, people were never on camera. Now they're on camera every day, all day. It's gonna keep on increasing that way, because it's crazy just how connected we are, and we don't really realize it yet.
Yeah, no, it is. It is insane.
Let's use you as an example. Like, you're just doing your eBay business, and then you came on social media, and now you're documenting what you're doing, and you're providing all the information that you've learned. So people are learning from that and using it. And it's crazy that you can actually do that from your home. Like, you're sitting in your garage right now. How crazy is that? And you're broadcasting to 170 people right now, and over time, thousands of people will watch this. That's crazy.
It is literally insane. As a global marketplace that operates in 190 markets, eBay must also provide localized payment options. So 190 markets. If they all bought things the same way, that is insane. I don't know. 190 markets. So eBay is definitely, is eBay wider than Amazon?
I think so.
Because they I think eBay has been declining over the last couple of years, have they not? Amazon's been crushing.
I don't know. I thought e-commerce in general has been growing. So maybe they haven't been growing at the same pace that Amazon has. But I think they've still been growing the entire time.
Do you think eBay will hold money like Amazon? Maybe. That's a good question because PayPal or Amazon only pays once every 2 weeks. And Poshmark doesn't release the money until the buyer accepts the order. And right currently with PayPal, they sort of front you the money because they don't know if you're legit or not. They just hope that you deliver the product.
Right.
So I don't know. If you were eBay and you're processing internally, would you hold the payment? I would say yes. I don't know. Also, Prince and I both use Robinhood, which is free trading, and they make money because you don't invest all of your money, and they make interest on all that cash hanging out in that bank account. That they're going to earn interest on the money that's sitting in there if they hold it for a couple of days. Like not a small amount of money, a massive amount of money. So I would hold it for 3 days, but that might mess up people's cash flow because now if they do fee netting, they take the money first, you have less money to deal with or less money to buy new stuff with. You'd get in less trouble, I think, in my opinion, because it's coming out first. But I don't know if they held the money for 3 days or a week or 2 weeks like Amazon. I don't know. I don't know. That would crush the hearts of original eBayers to get the money right away. They would not. Well, actually, when originally eBay, there was like money orders, right? So you had to wait in the mail to get paid.
Was it really like that?
Yeah, back in the day,
Wow.
there was no pictures when eBay came up.
Oh, right. I remember that song, the eBay song.
Yeah, with Weird Al.
Yep.
Thriller says that PayPal doesn't front the money; they hold the money hostage. I mean, oh, I guess if you're a new seller, they have PayPal jail, but I get the money right away.
Yeah, Thriller, the ALI. So that's what Adyen is trying to improve on, right? While with adding the system, they're trying to get your funds quicker to you. When you're a mature seller on eBay and PayPal you have a transactional history on PayPal and eBay, they'll release your funds immediately. Like I get all my funds immediately, no problems. So unless you have a rough patch or something where you're getting a ton of returns or you have a lot of negative feedback, you get account suspension or things like that, you should get your funds immediately.
Tekken Sports says he's OG. He's been on eBay for a decade as well, maybe even longer. He's saying money order or concealed cash. I can't imagine mailing money. That's like I would be like very scared to do that, but it worked back in the day. eBay was super community based.
Wow. Yeah, I'm really young. I didn't even know that you guys did that.
No,
Mailing cash. Jesus.
Or Amazon Star 99 is saying PayPal will never go away. This is just a power play, and they'll make up with them eventually. It could be. I mean, like we were talking about how Elon Musk. What if he took over eBay just for fun because he likes to start company or he likes to run multiple companies for fun?
Yeah.
But then he also started PayPal, right? So he's in a back room laughing right now at our conversation, probably.
Amazon sellers said PayPal will never go away. I don't think they're not trying to make PayPal go away. PayPal will always be an option for payment processing. They're trying to improve and make a better system for themselves. So something to consider.
I think for us as sellers, the biggest thing is a central place to manage your business. So eBay is working on solutions to provide information, metrics, data, inclusive of payments information right inside of there. Like, for example, they should be telling us repeat customers. They should be telling us what our average profits are, how much we're spending on shipping. If they gave us insight, like I compare it to vision, right? So if I was on my list of things to do, instantly improve my vision's pretty high. So it makes everything a lot easier. eBay lost a lot of Canadian customers when they introduced the global shipping program. I offer both to Canada and they never use the global shipping program. They always ship direct for Canada. Must be a significant difference.
I think the problem is a lot of sellers don't know that you could do, your own shipping through USPS to Canada, which would cost a lot less than global shipping program. So a lot of sellers that come on, there's like, oh, global shipping program, I don't have to do anything. Click, and then that's all they do. So that's
Right.
the issue. I don't think the issue is that they had that option. That option is great. So
And I think that it's an opportunity now for you as a seller to do both. Oh, I see. eBay lost Canadian customers because then now they have to pay a premium because so many people use GSP. That would make sense.
right.
So BizWest is saying PayPal will only be an option through 2023. That's what it says. I think it would be odd though to remove it completely as an option. It's no longer the preferred option. I don't know. Does that make sense? Like almost every single website accepts PayPal.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, wait, let me reread the article. Does it say that it's gonna like eliminate it completely? PayPal is a way to check out until 2023. It says PayPal will remain an important partner to eBay. That's very politically correct. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, guys. I mean, think of this as a discussion, not like a factual statement that we're making from eBay.
Yeah, we're just talking about what we think this is going to mean. I would be surprised if eBay lost global customers because now they have to pay a little bit more through the GSP program. I don't know. Like, if you want that rare snow globe, you gotta pay up for it. How else are you gonna get it?
Right. And I found several times, I've talked to a couple of international buyers, they find that the global shipping program service is safer than the regular service that we ship from. So some people prefer that service because you have that added security, you have the eBay guarantee and things like that.
So Kelly's asking if she needs to change, or he or she needs to change their listings, and you do not need to do anything. I am very excited to not have to use two websites. Just using eBay makes me so happy.
Oh yeah, simplifying that stuff is great because sometimes when I go on PayPal, like you have to deal with. Sometimes you go to PayPal and you call them right for customer service, and they're like, "All right, go talk to eBay," and then eBay goes, "Go talk to PayPal." I'm like, "Someone help me here!"
Somebody, you guys, don't you share?
Right.
And then here's another thing that I don't know if you guys notice. When you sell an eBay charity auction, which I do a lot of, and the person doesn't pay, you still owe the charity on it because they don't know whether or not you were paid or not. So that further complicates it. If you sell something really expensive, like I did as an example, I had to pay that fee to the charity, and then I had to ask the charity to give me my money back. I don't want to do that. So that's like, if they integrated it all together, a lot of these headaches would go away. Stacy Denny says that customers that buy through GSP, it may be easier to get through customs. I think so because, the traditional old school way was to mark things as a gift with a low value to get it across customs for cheaper for your customer, doing them a favor. But then you risk not being able to get your money back if something bad happens to the package. They're only going to refund you for that low value. Plus, it's unethical because that's not really a thing. But the thing that I wonder is, if somebody buys something from you commercially, when is it ever a gift? It's not a gift. It's literally a purchase. So I don't know why that option is. The option looks like it's allowing you to lie. Right? Why isn't it always a commercial purchase for the amount that you bought it for? I don't know. It's very odd. Let's see.
She makes another good point as well. She says that global shipping program makes it easier to get through customs. I think our regular packages have a tougher time getting through.
Absolutely.
And also, I think sometimes they have to pay an additional amount to get it when they.
And they're probably, a lot of hobby sellers are not filling it out properly.
Right. That too.
You actually took the risk of sending it directly to the Russian Federation with no issues. Yeah, I mean, I've sent stuff to Russian that hasn't been stolen. You can't assume that all packages going to Russian will be stolen, or Chile, or some of these tougher countries like Spain. Don't be afraid to send them something. I sent a $900 Mont Blanc to Russia that was perfectly fine. So it just depends on the buyer. But again, use your discretion. Girl on fire remembered waiting for checks to clear. Wow. That's like a month transaction. Let's see. Priority rates were $3.50. Wow. Wait, Joe's saying that USPS used to give away priority tape. I was under the impression they still do.
Yeah.
You just can't use priority tape on a priority parcel because it's a double whammy. They want you to use it on your own materials. It's an option for USPS. I just do not think they should allow you to mark it as a gift with an improper value because I would like to do that for my customers so they pay less taxes, but it's also 100% lying. So I just usually decline and say, no, I'm just going to mark it for the actual value. You would think it would just default to that.
It just doesn't make sense for us as a seller to take that liability
Right.
for no reason, you know?
It doesn't. Alipay is way better than PayPal. You could buy something as a gift and have it sent to the receiver. Oh, that's a good point. Tori is saying, but the thing is, it's still a commercial purchase for you as a seller. Yeah. It's a gift for them, gifting it to somebody else, but they're buying it commercially. Like when you go to Macy's and you buy a gift card for your buddy or a gift, even though it's a gift purchase, you still have to pay tax like a normal situation.
Right.
They no longer give away tape. I did not know that. But that's why you can use the flimsy eBay tape. Just kidding. But it is good enough. The eBay tape is definitely fine. I load up on it. Remember, guys, you have until March 1st to use your free shipping supplies. Don't forget because it will expire. So if you guys have a store subscription, don't forget to order your supplies. You have to pay extra for tracking. Yeah, I think you get free tracking if you print through the eBay system.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I thought you always get free tracking when you do it through eBay.
There is no tracking for items under that ship via regular stamp. You can't do that. You would think that eBay would allow that so that the top card sellers or coin sellers that sell stuff that can go in a regular envelope, they would do something to allow them to get top rated seller.
Data ACs is saying customers trust PayPal and it will take a while for customers to adjust to Adyen. But I don't think people realize that Adyen is not supposed to be, it's not going to be like this thing where you go out separately on. It's going to be integrated into eBay.
Yeah. So it'll be they trust eBay for sure.
It's going to be on eBay. It's like Amazon. You don't know what processing payment thing they use on Amazon. You just go on there and you do it on Amazon.
Right.
So
and Amazon, and it's important to realize this: Amazon lending and PayPal working capital is not them. They use a bank, I believe, right? Isn't working capital a bank that they use? It's not. Somebody else gives them the money. I don't think it's PayPal internally.
I don't know for sure.
I can look that up. Let me see.
I don't know for sure. I thought it was PayPal fronting you the money though. From what I remember.
Let's see here. Is it actually PayPal? No, it's WebBank.
WebBank, okay.
Yeah, so it's not, they're using a third party. But again, they don't say get a loan from WebBank. They say PayPal working capital loan.
That's interesting because they do it automatically based on, because you get approved or declined within minutes of your application. So it's interesting. They probably have an agreement with WebBank, I guess. If you have a certain history on PayPal, then you get automatically approved.
Yeah, the underwriting is probably automated. So they have a certain rule. WebBank will give out X amount of money. And then also, like, they'll run out or have extra because, like, there's no hard, fast rules for PayPal working capital. Sometimes you get approved, sometimes you get declined based on, sales variance, or maybe it makes sense if WebBank only has a certain budget or something.
Right.
I do think eBay will be better. It's for sure going to be better because it'll be through eBay. Actually, you do not need a third party. It's confusing as a buyer. I would rather buy from eBay through eBay. Mm-hmm. When I buy from Walmart, they don't ask me to go to a different site to enter in my information.
Yeah.
They just take my money directly. Right. But they offer PayPal. Mm-hmm. Stacy says PayPal underwrites the loans. Probably.
Okay. Interesting.
Every roll on the last eBay tape had no starting point. that doesn't surprise me, but what do you do? Do you just
you gotta understand, eBay's all this free supply stuff is a promotional tool for them. It's not, I don't think their primary focus is to give you free supplies for you to use. Yes, they are helpful and things like that, but the primary focus is promoting eBay by you using their products. So, it's not gonna be the top quality stuff that you get.
Yep. We got to shout out Holly. So I don't know if she got poly mailers, but we'll put a link to her store. But there's poly mailers that just say thank you, have been proven to have a better experience with buyers than something plastered with eBay. Also, not that this would happen in your area, but packages that have the eBay tape all over them potentially have a higher risk to be stolen because people think there's something cool inside. I have not personally had that happen to me, but I guess if I was a door-to-door package thief, that would tempt me. The Amazon and eBay boxes probably have goodies inside.
That's a good point.
It is stupid to have buying separate from the financial transaction on eBay. The thing that's crazy to me is when they bought PayPal, why didn't they integrate at that time? Because I'm sure they don't want to deal with separate transactions. And also, oh yeah, this is super sexy, guys. When we were at eBay talking to Brian Burke, he said that fee netting, which means the fees come out automatically, would eliminate the billing department. That's like, who knows how big the billing department is? It's got to be huge.
Oh yeah.
Big. I don't know. Would that make you nervous if you worked at eBay in the billing department and then they decided that they were going to just do fee netting and just eliminate your job? A little bit scary. Let's see here. Just got an email that says, "Don't leave on vacation ever again. We need the content." Appreciate that. We Prince and I are going to start delivering eBay news for you guys because we want to be on top of it. Plus, we want to be on the forefront because we both actually enjoy selling on eBay. So
yeah, eBay is very it's close to me. I'm always kind of monitoring it, and Chris and I do get information directly from like eBay employees telling us like what's going on, or even in the future we know some stuff that comes on. So
it's very cool, and the fact that they're like, it would be unusual for us as comparatively small sellers, right? We're not like B2B multi-million-dollar per month companies. To have lunch with people that work there is kind of insane. I don't see us necessarily getting into hang out with Amazon employees that easily.
That's a good point. That's a great point.
What business on this planet says you select a product and then pay for it? I mean, that's true. Like if I went to a grocery store, I expect them to handle the payments. If they were like, "Can you go to this other company and handle the payment?" And then what we're going to do is when we have to reconcile at the end of the month, we're going to deal with our transactions and other companies. It doesn't make sense. It's better to do it inside.
For sure.
Let's see. Forward-looking statements. eBay's payments is expected to bring an improved shopping experience. Again, I hope that it's just one click. Because when you buy something on eBay, don't you have to re-enter your PayPal? I do.
I don't.
Do you just use your credit card?
Mine's automatically saved on there. So everything but it's like still like 5 clicks before I actually check out.
That's what I mean. It's not is this where you live? Is this your credit card? Done, right?
Yeah. Amazon's actually scary good at this. I mean, they don't ask for anything. Like you go on the Amazon.com, you just look at a product, click on one click, buy it now, done. Like you don't even have a second chance to think about it. Like I bought some stuff before and I tried it. I was like, whoa. I thought they were gonna ask me again, like confirm or submit.
On its way. See you tomorrow. It's just like,
yeah. But we'll be there in a couple hours. Like, damn.
When they said the Prime, it's like it's going to be there in probably 2 days, and you can return it A to Z for any reason. It's hard to compete with that user experience. You want it, one click button, it comes to you in 2 days, you can return it for any reason. I don't even know how you make it better than that.
It's very difficult, but that's why I think they didn't make that much money. Like they were doing a lot of cash flow, but I don't think they were making that much money because they are based off the honor system. A lot of their stuff,
Mhm.
like even like Amazon Go right now, their grocery store that's cashierless, it's based off the honor system. So if you go get something, you walk out with it, and later you decide you didn't like it, you could just say I didn't like it or it was bad or whatever, and they'll refund you, nothing, no questions asked. So
Mary's making a good point. You can ask Alexa to order something for you with just a yes. I wonder if eBay will make an Alexa. You should name it Mary after Mary, and then you can just tell it, order me a used bobsled. Are you sure? Yes. Done. Comes to your house. Let's see.
insane.
On eBay, you click checkout and it asks you which method to pay. Select PayPal and checkout. Agreed. Yeah, that's true. When you buy something, it asks if you want to use PayPal or just enter in your credit card. One thing that I find that I don't like is I can't use my PayPal debit card as a credit transaction from my PayPal account. I have to enter that credit card in separately if I want it to be that type of a transaction. That way I can use it as credit and get the points, but it is interesting. If you win an item, oh yeah. Also, AM is making a good point. Right now they can't auto bill your credit card because they don't control the payment like
Yeah.
PayPal does. So they can't even offer that option. So now they could auto bill the customer because when Prince and I asked that question, they were like, "That's not going to happen," straight up. When we were there, because they're like, "We don't handle the payment." Technically, if there was some kind of privacy thing, I don't know. I feel like why doesn't eBay know if the customer has paid or not? Is it a privacy issue?
I don't know what it is. I mean,
I don't know.
I think it's one of those things where I think they know a lot of stuff. They just haven't implemented it yet. I mean, there's no way you and I are going there and giving them this shocking information where they're like, whoa, we need to do this and that. Like they should know. Someone has to know what's going on, right?
Right.
Um, so it probably just
Kelly's
takes a lot of work at that magnitude.
Kelly is asking if you need to go to eBay and PayPal to get your financials. Hopefully not.
Right now you do.
Right now you do. You have to do both.
Oh.
And you have to reconcile both. And they're not in real time. eBay bills you later. And to complicate that further, like FedEx bills you later. You guys ship FedEx, it bills you on later. So it's very
Yeah,
interesting.
I don't do FedEx.
Maybe eBay will be the first to offer an implant chip. I like that. Order me Jordan 3s in size 12. And then maybe I don't even need to say yes. I can just blink and they'll order for me. I don't know. That would be how much closer it could be.
Very interesting. But eBay is one of those things where it's not like they do have, those replenishable new products, but they also have a lot of used stuff. Like I think the primary focus for Amazon is the new stuff, right? That's what they show in the front. eBay is not like that. So it's weirder to do it like with Alexa or whatever and be like, order this for me. Because what if you get something else?
And they also have new with defects, which is not a thing on Amazon. Like
Yeah.
new with defects is like we use it a couple times, so it's still new. It's not new. But so Amazon's pretty strict with that.
But that's what makes eBay, right? Like if you can't sell on
Yeah.
Amazon, you're gonna be on eBay. And there's so many categories you can't sell on Amazon. There's like an insane amount. So eBay is not going anywhere, regardless of which payment processing thing is here and there. It doesn't matter.
I don't even know how I would feel getting one statement from eBay. No separate thing. Just like you sold something for 100, here's your $87.
Right.
You paid 50. You told us that you paid 50. You generated a profit of $37. Wow.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. And there's a lot of improvements. Prince and I are going to do a different video talking about those that people have asked us things that they want improved on the eBay system. And we went to we work on projects to try to help sellers because we feel like it's hard for eBay to change, so we should take it into our own hands and start making tools. But now that it's like they're working hard to clearly they're making some serious changes because taking on a whole nother company, and they just bought Terapeak. So they're serious about data. And they're moving Terapeak to San Jose. So I don't know. They bought Adyen. Adyen's pretty big. I don't think they can move them from the they're in the Netherlands. They're gonna
Somewhere in
move
the
'em here.
Dutch area. Interesting. I
Um,
mean, they might be able to. I think, well, PayPal and eBay, they exploded because of a lot of reasons, but they exploded. I mean, they were a couple $1 billion companies each, and now they went to like 100 billion, you know? So if there's even any kind of similar trend with Adyen, they could come to San Francisco.
they could move here, and eBay has 190 markets. That's insane. Is that like eBay dot all those countries integrate
Yeah.
well?
Yeah. Credit card should be linked to winning.
No. I mean that only works if the processing is in house,
Yeah.
because they're linked on a different website. We get it. We want that. We want, because Poshmark does that. When people accept an offer, it auto bills them. Okay, this is an even crazier part. On Poshmark, it auto bills them and it emails you the label, right? The part that's interesting is we have to fill out all these specific item specifics when you sell something on eBay. You should just be able to print the label. Why are you reconfirming the label when the information is the same? Right? If you have the opportunity to enter all the information on the front, the label should be done. It should just be print labels.
So AM is saying credit card should be linked to a winning auction item and auto draw the money. But the problem with that is then for the buyers, it's a bad situation. What if they want to cancel it, or what if they're having second thoughts? You should have an option to be able to cancel, your order within the hour or something at least, because every platform does that.
Yeah, and there's also been, this is another point, AM. Thank you for the clarification. About the auction snipers. There's not a severe enough penalty for not paying. There's really no penalty. You can basically win a lot of auctions. Somebody shared with me a 300, I think it was 300 lifetime non-paid or something. I don't know if you can you go that high? Can you just win a bunch of auctions and not pay? I don't feel like it hurts your account that much.
Chris, I have an interesting idea. What if they involved escrow in this? So you had to put money into an escrow before you bid on an auction.
Then there would be very few non-paying bidders. But then I don't know. I feel like a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck.
That is true.
I don't know. Like, I feel like you get so caught up in this vintage, telephone and you really want it, and you're like, oh man, I have technically 9 days to pay because they open the unpaid thing 4 days later and it doesn't close for another 4 days, so I can just wait till next paycheck. I don't know.
No, yeah, that happens all the time. But that's just what comes with auctions, right? That's the beauty of auctions. If you gotta, there's no other way around it, really.
I like your cancellation request idea. So Nate Berg is saying on Mercari they auto bill the customer too. So if you, because it's on your phone 60% of the time, we just charged you for your best offer. Would you like to cancel? Right. Give the opportunity an option. Also, there's another thing that eBay could do is they could allow the customer to request a partial refund on the app instead of you have requesting a return, and as a seller you do the option of a partial refund, which is confusing because I feel like a lot of people are just like, it's a little bit less than what I expected. I don't want to return it. I just need you to compensate me or something.
And a lot of people don't know that that's an option, so they can't even like ask for that.
You can't ask for that.
So yeah, that's a really good one to actually tell them about. Like, they should implement that as soon as possible. Yeah,
partial refund, people, because whenever I present that option for people, like, hey, I apologize for your experience. Can I, for example, I had a button break during shipping. Can I pay for the button? And the person was so happy. They're like, I didn't even know you could talk to your seller.
Yeah.
Because like on Amazon, when you're buying stuff, you're not communicating with the person.
No,
you don't even know that the thing that you're buying on Prime might be a grandma down the street who sent some stuff in the FBA. There's no personality behind it. It's just Amazon sending it to you.
Right.
And I feel like that reduces the returns on eBay a lot because I don't want to return items. Like, I'm a seller. When somebody sends me something that's not as expected, I'm not going to send it back. They have to eat the shipping. I really don't want to do that.
Right.
Let's see. You're having an issue with late shipping. There's a drop-down box on the label purchase page to ship today or tomorrow, and it defaults to tomorrow. I would agree with that. I think that, but it should just be based on when it's scanned, because I think you can set it today or tomorrow or the next day. I don't think that the date on there matters more than the scan. Um,
No, it doesn't matter. I confirmed that because I do 1 day shipping, right? So they scanned it one time and they dropped the package somewhere like in a corner or crease, and they did ship for a week, but I didn't get marked as a defect on my account because they initially they did, but then they removed it as they saw that it was scanned already and it was moving eventually.
and we get the question a lot. What happens if it never shows delivered? You basically automatically lose. So like, just basically when that happens, don't panic. It's very rare. If for some reason it's scanned and it doesn't show up, you will automatically lose. So just build in a little bit of margin in your business for things that happen, and don't. Yeah,
It's rare, guys. I mean, don't get too
Very
caught up on
rare.
it. One
Yeah.
time, so I'll tell you a story. One time I shipped a $200 GoPro, right? A package bundle, and it didn't show up for like 3 weeks. It just got like mysteriously lost. And then the buyer, he told me about it, and I was like, oh, I have no idea what happened. So I had to refund him. And I didn't refund him actually. I sent him another package because I didn't want to lose that sale. So then I had that one get delivered, and then the other one also got delivered. And then I don't know. Thankfully, he was like being upfront about it. He told me like, "Oh, the second one got delivered as well. Do you want me to send it back?" I said, "Yes, that'd be great." So I mean, you would lose that money. That's just part of e-commerce. You can't dwell on that. That's like a 0.01% chance that even happens.
Mhm.
But
Mary
everything.
Feelgood finds is right. You can't open a case if you ship priority, not for first class. For priority, you get at least $50 insurance. It's not an easy process, but you can get a refund.
It's a very difficult process. I've tried with my priority claim before, and it was such a headache because some of the feel like even the website itself, USPS, I try to fill out all the boxes and check it everything down and go next, and it would keep saying that you have to answer this question, and I did, and it wouldn't work, it wouldn't go through, and there was just nothing I can do. I was like, all right, I guess this is a loss.
I shipped a mixer that was like 40 pounds, and the post office guy dropped it and damaged the corner of it. And the guy insured it, and he's like, "Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it because I knew this was going to happen." And the post office guy or the postman wrote like, "Sorry, I dropped it. I dented the corner." And the guy said, "I don't even need a refund for the entire item. I just want a refund for the postage. It cost $80 for me to ship it from California to Texas, and I would like the $80 back. Even though you damaged my item, I'm not even asking for a full refund. It still took 3 months to get his money." So it's not necessarily an easy process, but don't give up either. If it happens, it may be worth your time. But if it's under $50, maybe just list 10 more items and
Yeah, I personally wouldn't even for me, even if it's a $200 item, I wouldn't waste my time on it. I know how lengthy of a process it is, especially now like PayPal, the eBay, PayPal, eBay. You go back and forth, and then USPS is also involved now. Like, who do you even talk to? It's annoying. So I would focus on growing instead of dwelling on those few minor mistakes that happen.
And Team Cermak is saying the post office lost more of his items than they did in the last 4 months prior. You never know what's going on. Like, it can be weather related. It's just, again, it may not be worth your time to ever deal with it. It may not be worth your time to ever mention it again. It happens. Refund. Move on to the next one. Just you know.
I do have to say though, I'm really blessed that I have a good post office here. So I used to live in Newark, New Jersey, a year or two ago, and there was a post office there, and it was awful. I mean, it was scary. I was shipping like thousands of dollars of stuff there, and I was like, "Are you guys?" I had to get a receipt every single time because I was scared. Over here, I just come by, put it on my table, and I leave. No problems ever. I have a 99.99% accuracy with my post office. So it's also location dependent, I think.
Jay Bywaters is saying UPS requires a master scan sheet for over 5 items. I'm not sure when that took into effect, but Tech and Sports and I were discussing that earlier. Some people don't use scan sheets. So that means if you sell over 5 items, do you really have to wait in line, or how do you deal with it if they require one and you don't have it? And then some post offices are like, no, people abuse the scan sheet. I scan in 10 items, but you only have 9 items, and so it shows that it was scanned in and it wasn't. So again,
Yeah.
it's kind of fuzzy.
My post office prefers that you don't use a scan sheet because they're going to go through each individual package anyway.
Mhm.
So there's no point of doing it all at once.
Yeah, and that is an interesting point that Jay Bywars is saying, because literally some post offices are like, no, scan sheet only, and some are like, even if you bring it, we won't use it.
Yeah.
Don't waste the paper.
Right. And you know what a lot of people don't realize, because I didn't realize either, that there's a lot of post offices around you. Like I thought I was fixated to one post office unless I go like an hour away or something. But there's actually a lot around you, depending on where you live. I have like 4 around me. So if I had an issue at mine, I could just go to another one, you know?
Yeah, and also be aware of the hours. There's a post office near me that closes at 6 versus 5. Sometimes I can't make it to the one locally, or I miss my pickup. I have to go to that one.
Yeah. My post office over here closes at 5 p.m., but the one 5 minutes away closes at 6:30. That's a big deal.
It's a big deal. You want to avoid that. Your post office said that your SOL on first class packages that are lost. Agreed. That's a thing. So if you want a safer destination or a safer trip to destination, it's your priority. And it's also, since first class went up 60 cents to $4.94 on a 16-ounce package, just pay $6 to get it there.
Don't remind me, man. $5. 'Cause
$5.
that increases my cost a lot every month because most of my things are first class mail. So it's really, really annoying.
Yeah, and when people talk about cents, and when you're like, "What's your average profit per item?" and they're like $3.49, you're like, "Wow, okay. Well, if you're talking about cents, your margins are very small. If every penny matters, instead of like people are like, oh, $20 or more, they can absorb a 50-cent thing easier.
Right.
But if you're the volume person, all these little things adjust." Wow. So T-Berg said you had to file a claim ago for a lost package a few weeks ago, and you received a check 3 days later. That's insane. I will tell you, I just received a fee adjustment in the positive route. They credited me $1 because I overpaid by 3 ounces.
No way.
Yeah, it happened. I have one. I'm gonna post it on Instagram. They paid me for overpaying.
Wow. Please post that. I've still haven't dealt with any of them charging me or
The adjustments?
Yeah, no adjustments yet.
I have a positive adjustment.
You sure? Are you thinking that's just your post office thing, or is it like universally work like that? I don't know. I've never heard of that.
It's supposed to be automated. My post office is a machine. They don't check.
Okay.
So it just goes in. If I underpay, they charge me more. If I overpay, apparently they refund.
Yes.
So, and it's crazy because the template says, please make sure you don't underpay. Here's your reference. Here's your refund for overpaying, because nobody does that.
Right.
If you guys look at the fee increase, you guys remember that it used to be like between 4 ounces and 8 ounces was a certain rate. It was $2.77. So people were basically fudging. If there was 9 ounce or 10 ounce, they'd make it 8 ounces and still ship it. Yeah. That's why the increase is so dramatic on that 1 ounce, because on other ounces, it's only 2-cent difference.
So SunCal Matt was saying that he's never used a scan sheet, and USPS always picks up at his door, sometimes 20 boxes a day or more. So guys, like this is the thing, okay? It's going to be different but where you are depending on your USPS, because for Chris, his post office mailman doesn't even want to pick up his stuff.
That's true. He says he just refuses.
It's his job, and he's like, no, I'm not going to come pick it up. Sorry. Just because Chris lives on like a hill and like it's harder to get there, or like whatever, it takes him more time, and he's like, no. Which is like, okay.
And his reason is that the truck is too small.
Yeah.
So it happens. Oh, I'm all around the world. Adyen, basically eBay is switching to its own. If you guys are just tuning in, this show's about PayPal or eBay dropping PayPal because the contract to work with them as its primary processor expires this year. So starting the second half of the year, they're going to start doing it internally, meaning people will buy stuff on eBay using eBay. They won't even know that Adyen is processing it, but on the back end, they're going to be handling the fees. So that basically allows us as sellers to just deal centrally in one platform. Hopefully, yes. Prince and I can be on the first group of people that gets that, because I want to try that right away.
Yeah, definitely very interesting. And we'll obviously keep you guys posted as we learn more stuff about this. We're just trying to be really involved in everything.
Yeah. I'm supposed to report him to my post office general. I'm My post office is really close, thankfully. I don't really want to report him because like he also delivers expensive packages, so I don't want to like get him in trouble.
Yeah, guys, the thing is, like, you got to consider, like, these are everyone's jobs, you know? You can't, if you have a vendetta against someone and their job is on the line, it's kind of like, it doesn't really matter. Chris lives like 2 minutes away from his post office, so it's not that big of a deal.
Oh, it expires fully in 2020. Does that mean it expires partially this year? I don't understand why they have to slowly roll it out. Probably because it's just hard. Oh, actually, it says the expiration of the operating agreement is 2021. Full expiration.
Yeah, they're saying different stuff all over the internet. There's different articles and different publications.
For sure, eBay has said that it's not an overnight thing. So just hang
Yes.
out.
This is big news for anyone who's full time or someone who's going to be on this platform for the next few years.
hmm This year they were allowed to find another partner. Agreed. So they did. So they found another partner already. And the second half of the year, some people will be able to do it. I'm praying for the one-click buying because I feel like that is just such an easy process. I wish they could do seller-based Prime somehow. I would love to be one of the people that offers same day shipping. I would bust my ass to be able to deliver stuff to customers in 2 days. That's such a cool experience. I don't know if it's profitable, but I would love to offer that.
I'm all around the world. Cost is supposedly going down. That's why we should all be excited for it.
It says it should make it cheaper, but I don't understand how because the process is the same.
I think because PayPal has a lot more leverage because they are like the primary option right now.
Mhm.
So maybe they can offer cheaper prices, a cheaper
So guys,
percentage.
correct me if I'm wrong, but it used to be PayPal when I used to sell before. They had two rates, 2.9 and 2.2. If you were a large volume seller, you got 2.2. We did 2.2%, but now it's just flat 2.9. So
I
maybe
remember
they have more leverage now. They're more powerful.
they are. They are. I remember that actually, but this is when I was a smaller seller, um, and I was always trying to get it, but I couldn't. And now they just made it all 2.9 because they can technically do what they want. It's like Amazon rolling out stuff, or like it's like Elon Musk selling flamethrowers. He could do whatever he wants at this point.
That's
Uh,
true. And Prince and I also we use other processors like, for example, Gumroad. They charge 3.9, right?
yeah.
So that extra 1% adds up. So what can you really do? It's like they have all the power. As a bulk seller, you can drop off in the back of a UPS. Usually you can drop off in the front of a UPS too. It just depends. USPS. It depends on your post office. But for me, I can drop off in the front or the back. How about you, Prince?
Guys, you could do whatever you want depending on your relationship with the USPS people, because I gave them all gift cards for Dunkin' and Starbucks, stuff like that, and now they're like my best friends. I walk in and they're like Prince, but like there'll be like a huge line of people, and then they'll take care of me like I'm a priority or something, which is really cool. Like, I just walk in and they have this like door where they take stuff in the back. I know
Mhm.
Chris does the same thing. He just opens it, goes. We've even been inside of his USPS before when I went there, which was really interesting. It's like one of those employee areas, and we went inside and we saw how it was kind of working.
They were
Really
like, come inside with the millions of dollars worth of stuff here and put your packages over there.
yeah.
That's how much they trust me at this point. I can literally walk in there, which I don't think you're supposed to do that, but I don't recommend walking into a post office without their permission because they can arrest you.
Yeah,
Don't go back there.
they do have strict laws there actually. Like if you do anything
Very
sketchy in
strict.
there, they're very strict.
It's very strict. It is 3.9 for international. Great point. So I charge a $1 handling fee for international shipping to cover that 1%, kind of. So I do my best to try to make it even, but
Yeah, for me it just sucks because I'm paying an additional 1 or 2% on like $200, $300 items. It is what it is though.
yeah, Senko Meta is saying you're not holding your breath on eBay reducing the fees. I'm not either. I just want to make it easier. It doesn't need to be cheaper in my opinion. It just needs to be easier. I don't think it's expensive.
No, we've already made it clear that 13% is fantastic. I mean,
Yeah, we're okay with it.
we have no problem with that whatsoever.
I also have no problem with Poshmark's 20%. I still think it's cheap. I put it on there and they find the customer for me. That seems cheap.
Right.
With Amazon charges 30%. People say don't sell on Amazon because of the 30% fee. You also don't have to do anything except for mail it to them.
Yep.
So I mean, it's hard to complain that you don't have to have anything in your. You could run an Amazon business from your car. You can, you see people who upgrade to a van. They drive from Walmart to Walmart, prepare their shipment in their car, drop off the UPS shipment on the way home, and they don't have anything at their house. Like, and they don't consider Amazon FBA fee expensive. So Adyen, Kendi is saying that they don't charge the 30-cent fee. Well, eBay could just buy Adyen, can't they? That's confusing to me too. Why don't they just buy them?
Maybe because they have to create more departments and more employees to handle all that stuff, where there's already something established and working. That's my best guess.
Yeah, I don't know, but they could. I mean, they basically transferring the profit from PayPal to Adyen because I think it costs the same amount of money to process something.
Right.
There's some kind of internal cost. Someone asked if costs will go. No, I agree with you. I don't think the cost will go down, but it says on the article that lower costs for sellers. It says that.
Guys, if it goes down, don't expect like 10% decrease in fees or 20% decrease in fees. It's going to be very marginal. But if you are serious about eBay and you're growing and you're scaling it to a multi-million-dollar business and things like that, or even over 100,000, that's a big deal for you. A couple thousand here, a couple thousand there. That adds up a lot.
Mm-hmm. And I do think shipping is next. If they can get a shipping deal for us, that is groundbreaking. If they were to say to customers, it's $5 flat shipping for anything first class and $7 for priority across the entire website, then it would be so easy to buy something on eBay because you would understand, okay, $5. And then if they tighten the restriction so there's not this ridiculous 99-cent free shipping thing from China, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then it's competitive. They have to pay $12 to ship it from China to the US. Then all of a sudden we start buying from internally. And, it starts to be very interesting. Very exciting to see some type of shipping deal. And it does say, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't it still say Pitney Bowes on the label?
As far as I'm concerned, yeah. I don't have any here.
I'm going to see. It does. It says Pitney Bowes commercial price on it. So there's always the conspiracy that, eBay's working with them secretly on something. What's up, Wade's Ventures? What's going on? Wade in the house. Wade knows all about the change. Wade, let us know. What do you think about eBay moving internal? Happy Nick is saying they show what the volume of mail that eBay produces through sales. So here's the thing. I know eBay gets the discount. It's just who gets to keep that money. On Poshmark, they transfer that money to the buyer, basically. Because it seems like it costs more than $6.95 to ship a pair of shoes across the country. For Prince and I right now to send a 4 or 5 pound package priority that doesn't fit into a flat rate, it could be $20 cross coast easily. More than that for a 5 pound package. For $6.95 is very unusual.
Right. Happy Nico saying that post office should give eBay a bulk rate that they could pass on. The thing is, they're already giving us a discount.
They have the rate already. We're
already getting a rate. If you go to post office and try to ship it yourself, it's expensive.
Right. Yeah, we are already getting a commercial rate. But Sam is asking if the shipping deal's on the table. It's not yet, but I was just thinking because Poshmark has the up to 5 pound rule, so people are buying 3-4 things because the shipping is the same. But buyers know when they go to the website, $6.95 priority shipping. They don't even offer first class because they want it to get to the buyer fast. So It's like, wow, that's a really easy thing. And for us, if you charge shipping because you don't want to pay for return shipping like myself, it's complicated. You have to have multiple shipping policies. But if it was just one policy, I could spend my time on other things.
Right. That's a good point.
The post office should give eBay a bulk rate. They do. They give eBay the maximum commercial rate, I'm sure, because they ship literally millions of packages.
Amazon doesn't use USPS, right?
No, they use Isn't it UPS is their preferred vendor? Amazon seller in the chat, please tell us. But I believe UPS is their preferred vendor.
Right, UPS and UTrack or whatever, stuff like that. Interesting.
Adyen has their fee chart on their website. Cool. Let's see.
Well, the thing with that is that we don't know what deal eBay is making with them. It's the same thing like USPS and eBay. There's a discounted rate, so we don't know exactly what the rates will be.
eBay explains that the decision to integrate Adyen's payment processor will result in lower costs and more control for its merchants. So eBay says directly in their release that it will make it cheaper for us. I don't know what that means. I don't even know how it could be cheaper unless they eliminate the 30 cents, because it's fun to talk about, though. I don't know what would be cheaper. I don't get it.
Right.
Because in normal credit card processing, when you go buy something, you have to 2.9 and 30 cents is how it goes, unless there's micro transactions. Shout out to Wade for the $20 super chat. Everybody check out his channel. Wade is super cool. We need to do a round 2 on a storage auction video. Yep. Wade is like makes really quality videos, unlike mine where I'm just talking. So check it out.
So Senkal Matt is saying that eBay doesn't pass on their full discount. He's saying that the different companies have different rates. He says his company was getting like 80%. That's true. I mean,
wow.
You guys have to understand that depending on what company you are, what volume you do, you get different rates. We went to eBay, right? And we saw their offices and how they're running. They have departments just for like Toys R Us. They have departments for like, different kind of sellers on eBay, which is really interesting. They have people working just with them all day.
Yeah. If you're Best Buy, you get an eBay person that helps you.
Yeah. Like a full-time employee or like
full-time employee. That's like
multiple employees. Very cool.
It's very cool. And the B2B sections, and for me, even though I've been to eBay before, I didn't realize how many different departments there are, and they're all separate. And imagine like the eBay selling department, the eBay buying department, all these different departments having to work together to create change. It's not really that straightforward.
Right. Right.
What is happening? eBay can pass on better rates to the sellers, but more importantly to me is passing that ease of sale to the customer, right? Because think about if they were to say eBay is free shipping across the whole platform, that would make it easier for sellers, honestly, because you just have to now work into it. It's now a fair playing field. There's no games that you play. Like it wouldn't have to be like $397 versus $399, $399 versus $401. You wouldn't have to think about that anymore. It would just it's all free.
Right.
But the thing is, it also makes it difficult for calculated shipping, right? Because it costs more to ship it farther.
Right.
What is happening is that eBay, some of the eBay shipping discount is passed on to the customer as well. Agreed. And we want that. We want to make it as easy for the customer as possible. And in our opinion, it's easier to use Amazon than eBay. It's easier to use Poshmark than eBay because of the straightforwardness of how the fees work. Before you didn't get charged final value fees on shipping. So you could buy something for $1 with $99 shipping. That's not a good experience for the customer.
Yeah, they're doing weird stuff when they started, man. They had like cars on there for like $100 and then $9,900 shipping. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so now you have to play by the rules, and you don't get your top rated seller discount on the shipping, only on the sale price.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So they charge you all the money on the fees.
That's a really good point. So that, if you're top rated, then it might be more beneficial for you to do free shipping and add it into your cost of your product.
Yeah, that's true. It might make up for the returns that you get.
Yeah.
And you're having to eat the shipping on the way back. And this goes back to the age-old argument. Does $9.99 plus $5 shipping sound cheaper than $15 free shipping? I think it does. If you were to say $9.99 plus $4.99 shipping or $15 free shipping, to me, $9.99 makes it look like the product is cheaper. It's the same price.
I don't know what the math thinks. For me, I would be like, what the hell? Half the cost is the shipping. I'm out. Right. That's what I would say. But if it was 15 and free, I'd be like, okay, cool.
15 is free. And the
Yeah.
thing is also, a lot of eBay has best offer, right? So it's 15 free shipping. Somebody might offer 10 because that seems like what you would offer. If it's
Right.
$9.99 plus $5 shipping, you might offer 8 or something because you're like, you don't even include the shipping part. That's already a fixed amount. So it's definitely interesting. Julie says she thinks it's wrong we pay a fee on the shipping costs. It is kind of odd, right? So if, for example, Poshmark, they charge the buyer $6.95 for shipping, we don't pay fees on that. That doesn't even really make sense because it's a separate part of it, right? But
Yeah.
because there's so many games that buyers and sellers play,
Mhm.
I think that's why they have to do it that way. Otherwise, we would do $1.99 free shipping to just pay fees on $1.
Right.
And Senko or Sensel Matt is saying that he's negotiated his own discounts. You can do that. If you follow Watch Me Amazon, he negotiated his first class rates like 70 cents cheaper. We have to do a little bit of volume in order to have that happen.
Right. People used to sell crap for a penny and charge $100 shipping. Yeah. We've come a long way. And, 5 years from now, we're going to be like, whoa, we came a long way again. So it's the same thing. It's very interesting.
All right, guys. So we're going to call it a night. It's been a long time. If you guys want to follow Prince and I on Instagram, Prince, why don't you give us a little bit of, let people know where they can find you.
Also, you can find me on Instagram at Wired by Biz. I'm also on YouTube. I'm posting a little bit more frequently now. I just posted a little 20-minute interview that I had with Frank. So if you want to check it out, it's Wired by Biz on YouTube. I'm also going to be trying a little bit of vlogging. I'm going to India. I'm going to do vlog style stuff. So just interesting stuff and tie it all back to eBay. So it should be interesting.
And guys, we are open book. You can email us also or ask us questions in the comments. We always respond. We can talk directly to eBay and ask them specific questions. So let us know. We want to be part of the transition from eBay for hobbyists to eBay for business owners. And we think that everyone should treat stuff like a business because it's such an interesting time now where I really want to reiterate that we don't have to have a building. You can sell from home. So it's really, really awesome. And we want you guys to take advantage and really get the maximum deductions for your business. Please email us and let us know if you have any other, if you need any questions or help.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.